hour and 40 minutes. And I don't know. Well, hello and welcome back.
You swallowed your tongue.
I swallowed the intro. Hello and welcome back to another episode of I've Heard It Both Ways. I'm Zach, sitting here with Ihibw, and we'll get into it.
Oh yeah.
So this is a podcast that scrolls right to the bottom and clicks accept.
You said upset and clicks upset. Because you can click that nowadays.
This is a podcast that rolls right to the bottom. Leave it there. Alright, mate.
With all the disclaimers. Rolls right at the bottom with the disclaimers.
Exactly. The small print. Get into it.
Yeah, and about the cookies and everything. That's right.
Mate, I was listening to a podcast and I heard like a fact about movie credits that I didn't. Well, I still need to investigate some more. But I heard that the smallest, a casting director.
Yeah,
you know what they do on a movie.
And they decide on who's acting.
Yeah, who plays in what roles. Okay. Apparently, the casting director's assistant, apparently their font is always smaller. Like, the size of the font is always smaller. And that's just meant to be like a little slight to casting director assistants. And then I went to go and check, because I wanted to just, you've got to fact check these things. But when I was watching the credits, I couldn't see that any of the things were a different
small.
font.
That's small, was it?
Mate, they were all the same size font. So I don't know if I haven't looked at enough credits.
Who told you this again?
I don't want to name and shame, but yeah, I was listening to one of those big boy podcasts, and that's what they said. But anyway, in looking through the credits, and I do this at the end of movies anyway, there was like so many roles that I thought, what does this person actually do? Do you know what I mean? Like, are there any roles that you regularly see when the credits go and you think, what is that?
Well, Zach, I actually might have done some of those roles.
Yeah, because, I was going to say.
Yeah, because before going to university, I wanted, as many people do, I wanted to get into the film industry. Yeah. I did a film course and I made some contacts. Basically, people with money, not much artistic credit, but they had lots of money and they were like, I just want to make a movie. Yeah. So I met loads of people like that and they just didn't care about,
how it came out.
Yeah, so they were like, oh, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? So during that time, I did everything from, I used to hold the boom, the microphone thing.
Boom operator.
Yeah, did that. I had to be the continuity person.
I like it.
So
one
like
of the obscure ones.
Yeah. So when you see, it's the most boring job ever. Anyone that's doing that, if they're getting paid, then they're doing well. But yeah, it's basically that when a scene is getting filmed, you have to make sure everything's the same.
Yeah. So the clock isn't going from 3:30 to 5:30 back to 12:30.
Yeah. If you got a clock, man, you're doing you're not doing it well.
Yeah, it's too difficult to keep track of that.
But yeah, you got that's.
Mate, I do that by accident. I'm watching the movie and I'll just say, no, that was on his left hand before. How comes he's drunk half of the drink?
You get those geeks now who always. Sorry. You get those. You get those really eagle-eyed people
who digging themselves out of that.
Yeah, who are like, Oh, I've noticed that. They made a mistake there because he was wearing a red jacket, and when he came back, it was a blue jacket. But things like that.
All I'm saying, mate, is that, like you said, there's a guy who's being paid to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah,
was he not looking at the screen or what?
In these big Hollywood films, then they can't make those mistakes. Yeah. But sometimes, they do that. They'll be like shaking hands or something, and then it's the wrong hand. Something like that. Yeah. So I did that.
Good. Any others? There's some that I really wish that you did.
I was a runner for some short film, so that just means you're just a volunteer. So you just basically do everything. Yeah. So I pushed the camera on the track.
There's a name for that. So you don't know what your role was. If you're pushing
the dolly, isn't it? Or...
No, the thing's the dolly, and you might be the dolly operator, but. Who was?
No, because at the time I was just the runner, so they were like, "Can you help me with this?"
Yeah.
It was a budget. I'm talking about budget. I didn't work with no.
Take the credit, mate. You were the dolly operator for 15 seconds.
Exactly. I didn't make no didn't meet any famous directors.
Fair enough. But all right, that's even one of them. Like the person or the team that's in charge of all the moving parts, as in the dolly operation, the crane that would hold the camera to swing it around for moving shots. That's called the grip.
The grip.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the boss of all of that is called the grip.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've always thought, what's the grip? Every time that you're looking through the credits.
So what does he do?
He's in charge of basically all the non-lighting equipment.
The camera.
No, the cameras are different. So there's a camera crew.
Yeah.
There's a crew for the lighting, and then there's a crew for like all the things that move, as in all the rigs, all the rigging stuff.
Oh.
Yeah. So all the cranes.
Yeah, but the cameras are on the rigs, though, right?
But then the camera operator.
Oh
is gonna be
yeah.
that
Oh
person.
right. Okay.
But then there's someone who'll be pulling.
Yeah,
the dolly
that's a big budget movie, man. We didn't have any of those. We didn't have any of those.
They had you, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
hung me in the air.
that person's the grip, and I always just thought, what was that? And the second in command to the grip, I say second in command.
Got a smaller font, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Look, all of the fonts look the same size to me. I need to investigate.
I'm not sure about it. I'm gonna have to look at those.
Exactly.
But again,
it sounded a little bit.
But again,
fictional.
those eagle-eyed guys, they like to stay until the end of the credits, don't they? So they'll notice that.
See exactly what's
as opposed
happening.
to me, who are getting up at the end of a Marvel movie. Everyone's like, "What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. You've never been to a Marvel film before. Tourists, you must be tourists."
Look at him, amateur.
And then what's it called? So yeah, the grip or the key grip. And the guy who's underneath him. This is a role that I always used to see on the credits. I was thinking, what is that?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Best Boy?
Best Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. But
I should go through it and just say
Yeah.
Best Boy. Best Boy is basically the guy second in command underneath the key grip, and he's called the Best Boy.
Do you know why it's called the Best Boy?
What did I
Like Best
read?
Man.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Oh mate, it's a weird. Okay, there's another team. They're called the guy who's in charge of all the electrics.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's called the gaffer.
Gaffer.
Exactly,
I like
gaffer.
it.
And that's where the name gaffer tape comes from, as in taping down the electric cables so no one trips over them. And then they've got gaffer tape. You know what gaffer tape is?
Yeah, but I'm trying to think what would come first. Would gaffer tape come first?
I've got a feeling gaffer tape would have been named after the role.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, probably the place it was most commonly used.
Right.
Yeah, take down these cables.
Yeah,
Long
yeah,
before we
yeah.
had computers or computer networks, there were movie studios with cables, and they would lock them down. The second in command over there is called the Best Boy as well. And then I heard that the reason they're called the Best Boy is back when the movie industry was a little bit more in its infancy. If one department wanted some extra help, like you were running around helping every department, isn't it? The gaffer would go to the key grip and would say, let me borrow your Best Boy. And it's really
so
like,
he is
who's
a
a
bit
good
like
person
a runner
from your
then,
team.
isn't he?
Only in that historical sense of it, but
Right.
now that's two distinct departments.
But you're talking about, like, obviously you're talking about big budget.
Yeah, I'm talking about big movies. Smaller productions, they will never have this many
They
people.
won't have that, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, those are the ones that always used to jump out at me. But yeah, so the gaffer, the key grip, and the Best Boy. So those are the things that I never knew exactly what they were doing. But obviously, the top boys when it comes to movie production are the director and the producer.
Yeah. The producer's got the budget and he's trying to make sure he's got everything's on time.
Yep, good.
And he's trying to, and he has to sell the film as well. Doesn't he?
Yeah, all right. You know your stuff. So the producer's kind of like the business side of everything. So we'll secure the funding. We'll make a schedule. Actually hires the director and the screenwriters and all of that stuff, and needs to make sure that the film makes money.
Yeah. He's the business guy.
And then the director, what does the director do then?
He's just visually in charge, isn't he?
Yeah.
So the film will be through his eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, again, like, if I've heard that when it's a big film, then the roles kind of lessen a bit because the producer's more involved. And I've heard, like, sometimes you can have just like a run-of-the-mill director, in Hollywood because the film's going to get well produced. It's going to get made in a certain way. The role of a director isn't as important. So, for example, like if you get a film that was always going to be made, like The Chipmunks, for example. That's always going to be made anyway. And I always see, like, sometimes on IMDb, you see, like, some directors, they've made one really good movie, and then they've just made loads of big blockbuster videos.
Yeah. But I think that's because as the project gets bigger, you know, you have more directors. You'll have one for the sound, one for the lighting, one as the main director. So they may not have as much to do since there's so many of them. They're a bit more specialised in what they're doing. And if the producer's a big experienced producer, they kind of already know what they want the film to be like. Like Alvin and the Chipmunks, you weren't going to have that much creative input as the director. You just needed to make sure that everything happened according to the schedule.
And that everyone's in it, like Alvin, Simon...
and
Theodore, thank you.
You got to get them all in. And how hard is that? But not to belittle the work that they do. But so they seem to be the ones.
But you don't know who the director of, for example, the new Transformers is. Oh no, actually, he's quite famous, isn't he?
What, Michael Bay?
Is it Michael Bay?
Is it not Michael Bay?
It might be Michael Bay.
But if Transformers has explosions,
yeah. No, alright, maybe not but like, you know, something like the Smurfs thing, or something like that. Yeah, like I said, like a film that is going to be made. Yeah. Because Hollywood say we got to make this because
it's going to make money.
It's going to make money.
There's plenty of multi-million-dollar.
They don't need a top-notch director. Then.
Exactly. And plus, a lot of it is done on computers, and it's like some sort of animated thing. So
exactly.
What does the director do? Anyway, talking of top boys in movies, do you know about billing? As in top billing for a movie?
No, tell me.
It's basically like whose name comes first. Okay. So, you know, the beginning of a movie, the credits that come across, or like on a movie poster, whose name's going to be at the top. Like, you'll see posters where there's like two people standing in the picture on the poster, and then there'll be like 5 names at the top. Or even if it's the names of the actors, they won't be in the same order that they're standing. And it's like, why doesn't that match up with the person?
Did you hear about the Italian poster for 12 Years a Slave?
The Italian version, okay.
Yeah, if you we'll put it on the show notes, but basically the main person on it is Brad Pitt, and just Brad Pitt looking like Jesus, with a big massive face, and it just says Brad Pitt, and so.
Really? I thought it would be his name, but it's his name and just his face.
Well, no, there's.
We'll put that in the show notes.
There's Chitterwell in it as well. He's running,
but
he's running, man.
His whole body is 20% of the size of just Brad Pitt's face.
Well, he is an executive producer, man.
Yeah,
that's very.
But
important.
This is it. Yeah, executive producer. You brought something to the project. He brought himself.
Yeah,
it's like, I know a guy.
It's me. Put me in a poster.
Okay, the American version obviously is going to have more than Brad Pitt, but is Brad Pitt first on the American one?
No,
I say American. I just mean the English version.
It's it'll be the main guy.
Yeah.
You can say his name.
And the main guy's name is
Chitterwell Ejiofor.
Okay,
yeah. I know Chitterwell.
Right.
Me and Chitterwell.
All right, good. So he got billing up. Okay, go across to Brad Pitt. Does it say and with, or does it say?
In fairness,
and Brad Pitt.
No, in fairness to it, it looks like it's one of those posters that's a group of posters where it's got someone's face. So there's a Michael Fassbender one as well.
So everyone can feature on the poster.
Yeah, but I just don't know if there's a Chitterwell Ejiofor one. Because it seems like he's the little guy running.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, see, that's even a prime example of what I'm talking about. But okay, so with billing, the big money person is always going to be the first name that you're going to see. Sometimes even if they're not one of the main characters. And a lot of people have that written into their contract. So it's written into their contract, I want top billing for this movie. And if you're a big enough person, so like Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, all these big actors, their name will go first. Regardless of...
Makes you think about those movies with ensemble cast like Ocean's 11.
Exactly, there'll be fights. Ocean's 11, was it Ocean's 11? I think it is. When there was some controversy over basically so many big people in there, they all want top billing. So they decided actually we're going to put everyone's